to the Open Book. This is your host, Lakeisha, and I hope that everyone is having a fantastic Friday. Y'all, it is now, I know here in Texas, tax-free weekend, okay? And not only that, but it is now the back to school season. And I wanted to share with you all a video that I did with a close friend of mine, Mrs. Pamela McCray, over the importance of developing relationships with your students. You would be surprised by the impact that that has on your life and, most importantly, their lives. Let's watch. Hi, welcome to the Open Book. We are back. We've done a double whammy. And tonight it is going to be special night, y'all. When I tell you I can't even contain myself tonight because we have a lot of students that are going to be on here, our former students that are going to be on here tonight, and they are going to share with us some things that they've been doing. And also I have my girl Pamela. She's on here. Hi, Pam.
Hey.
How are you today?
I am wonderful. Trying to keep from crying because I haven't seen my babies like in person in a few years. And it's like, waterworks. But I'm excited to be here tonight.
I'm excited too. I'm excited. We have some more people joining. When I tell you our student showed up tonight, I am excited. Oh my goodness. Y'all, we are on Facebook. I'm about to make sure that I share it for a couple of people, and then we're going to get started.
All right.
So how was everyone's day? Pam, how was your day today?
My day was really good. I had to work with a few students today. So
okay.
I was able to work with the kindergartners today.
Oh, okay. Now that's different.
I just pulled them out for testing. Now, little people, I know my calling. And I know my calling is not the kinder children. Okay. I need them to be a little bit older. About third, second grade. Yes.
Oh,
yes. But it went well. They were active, but they were focused. And so my day went great. Anytime I get to work with the kids, I'm excited.
What I can say about my friend Pam is she is transparent, like myself. We both love children, but we have that in common. Give us some of the older children, okay? And ninth grade is different for me because y'all high school, when I tell you high school is different than elementary. My students on here, I had a fifth grade, and that was a different type of anointing than the ninth graders, because it's a little harder in high school. But tonight, y'all, we have some exciting guests. When I tell you, my heart is so full of joy just to see the great things. I follow my former students. I look at them as my children. So, I'm like a mama, God mama, and so forth. But just to see the wonderful things that they've done throughout the course of their lives so far, I mean, that is the greatest joy in being a teacher. And so tonight, we're just going to have them on for a little bit, and I want them to talk because they are doing some awesome things. So we're just going to go around and let you all introduce yourselves. Tell us something you've been doing. When did you have us? Y'all better say some good things, okay? We will still jack y'all up. And so we'll start over here with Eric. Now, Eric had Miss McCray and me. He had her in fourth grade, and he had me in the fifth grade. So that was when I tell you, oh my gosh. And Eric was no problem. Now, I did have some students that I had to go and talk to McCray, tell her to come get them because, they were doing some stuff. But when I tell you, Eric, if I could have wrapped him up and kept him every year, someone with his personality, the respect, his mom has done such an awesome job with him and raising him into the great man that he is. So, Eric, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So as Ms. Mabry said, at our elementary school, 5th grade, Ms. McCray, I believe I had you in 4th grade as well. And yeah, it's definitely fun times back then. Uh, Going up into middle school, stayed in Fort Worth ISD for a minute. And then went to Hurst Junior High. From there, went on to Birdville ISD, where I attended Richland High School. And yeah, it's been a fun journey since then. Definitely learned a lot.
So, but he's being humble right now.
But see, if I ever had to describe Eric in one word, it has never changed. That one word has never changed.
Yes, never. He's the
smooth. If I had to describe Eric in one word, it's just smooth.
He's just smooth.
Like the whole world could be falling down.
Right.
Eric is.
So, Eric, tell us what just happened, though. See, you're being humble right now, but something just happened recently.
To elaborate on the part where I said it's been a journey, really, I guess I could go back to my first initial experience in college. So when I was in college, I started out TCC, Tarrant County College, and I was working at the same time. So I was taking night classes. The job I had at the time, as y'all can probably tell behind me, I like aviation planes. So I heard somewhere that there's a power in proximity. So if you can get close to your goals, then it would be very beneficial to you in the long run. So as close as I could get without having any major licenses or anything like that was a lounge, believe it or not, in the airport. But it was like a high class lounge. So I was a bus boy in there, waiter, wiping tables and stuff in there. And then around then, that's when the pandemic happened, and semester ended, and I got really serious about what I wanted to do, which is in the long run fly planes. After that, I worked for this company. That was my vest back there, Envoy, where I was blessed to be able to get hands-on experience with aircraft, marshaling them and other things, throwing bags on and off. It wasn't all glamorous at first, believe it or not. And I definitely had to learn how to deal with people. But that gave me, in jobs like that, you work with people that aren't just your age. So I got to experience like working with older people, way older than me. Also in high school, I took some engineering classes, aerospace engineering, rocket engineering, and I started flying.
That's awesome.
Yeah, got a few certificates. That's the date of my first flight, which was September 16th, 2017. So
awesome.
Since then, and yeah, it's been a minute to go out again to the Air Force, about a year and a half doing medical stuff that I had to go get clearances for. I'm sorry, but I had to keep going back. I turned stuff in, they want more, but I didn't get a definite answer. So kept going back till I got a definite answer. And I finally got that on August 12th. So yeah, sworn in, and now I'm on the delayed entry program for the Air Force. So yeah.
When I tell you I'm so proud of you, I saw this from 5th grade. McCray probably saw it in 4th grade that you were going to do some great things. I could always tell that. I'm so proud. Oh, trying not to cry.
About his business. Girl, I'm trying to hold him.
I'm trying to hold it in.
Pam, you ain't been on here 5 minutes. You're already struggling. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna go through another one of my students, and then you can introduce your students. But I not only consider this person my former student, but also my daughter. And I had Kiera in the 5th grade. Y'all, this girl and her friends gave me a run for my money. Okay. They know they love me, but they had a way of showing it. When I tell you, I had to be on top of it with these girls. But when I tell you my heart, she has forever had a place in my heart. I learned so much through her. And when I tell you, she has been there. And not only have I been there for her, but she has also been there for me. She has babysat my kids. You know, I don't trust everyone with my kids.
That's right.
When I tell you, okay, I trust her. She's visited me in the hospital. There's been times where I've been in the hospital. Her and another one of my former students came to visit me. And that, when I tell you, that meant a lot. I will never, ever forget that. Now I'm really trying not to cry, but I'm so proud of her because I've seen her press through so much. And God has really been good to her. She has a beautiful baby girl, Riley. And so I know that she's a great mom, and Riley is growing up in with the best care. So Kiera, tell us a little bit about yourself, girl.
Wait, I want to see Kiera. I can't see her. Okay, there we go.
Make sure you unmute. Or do I need to unmute you? Let's see.
Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Okay.
I don't know where to start. I'm a phlebotomist. I work at Baylor. I work at Medical City Hospital also. Full-time mother. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You said it all. I mean, that's what. So what? Okay. So what high school did you go to?
I went to Eastern Hills.
Okay, you went to college a little. Don't let my baby Kiera fool y'all. Oh my goodness, she acts shy and quiet, but used to pop off in a minute with those other girls. Don't let her fool you. Like, what is she going?
Yeah, I went to TCC. I'm going to school for realtor. I'll be done with that at the end of September.
See, I didn't know that. Congratulations. See?
That is awesome.
Y'all, don't let her fool you because she used to do this in class too. Like, she couldn't talk, trying to act shy. She is not shy.
Kiera, was I there when you were at Eastern Hills, Kiera?
Yes.
Oh, but you didn't. I don't think you didn't have her though for fourth grade, right?
No.
I think you came that year. They moved from fourth grade to fifth grade.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. That following year. Thank you, Kiera. So we're gonna talk about a couple of questions in a second. So get your mind thinking. Okay, Pam.
All right. So one of my other students that I guess I would call my son, because like you, Mabry, I have a difficult time accepting the fact that my students aren't really my biological children. Like, I literally remember when I started teaching and when I started dating my husband, and we had something going on at the school in Baton Rouge, and something happened, and I just broke out into tears. Something happened to one of my babies, and he was like, Pam, you got to understand, those are not your real kids. And I looked at him like he was crazy. Like, those are my babies. I had birthed no other children. If you were on my roll, you were my child. And I was not going to let go of you. And from 8 to 3, I was going to be your mom. And then I would let you have a slumber party with this man and this woman who brought you into the world every night. That's how I thought. They were just going to give me my baby back, and you having a slumber party with these two people right here. So my last year in the classroom, I believe it was my last year, Jay, I met this student. And you know, you always get your class list. And I just remember saying, they didn't put the rest of his first name on here.
Right.
Who, like, they didn't tell me. And so when I talked to him, I was like, so what's your name? And he said, Jay. And I was like, okay, Jay what? And he was like, just Jay. And even with him saying that, that was his personality for the whole year. Like, he's just him. He's just going to show up at school. He's just going to do his work. He's just going to make you look like an exceptional teacher. And then he's just going to leave and go along on his merry way. J. Ivory Thomas, one of my most scary students, in that I remember talking to his mom, I think, before he left, because he would be a child that if he wasn't intelligent, he could have fallen through the cracks, because he was quiet, but he was like a quiet storm, like the storm being he was an academic powerhouse. when it came to reading. And so I'm just blessed that I was able to teach.
And I'm glad that Pam touched on that, because there are students who will sometimes fall between the cracks. If they're quiet, sometimes if the teachers are not quick on developing relationships with, especially students who have behavior issues, sometimes these students can get misdiagnosed with being in special ed, especially African American boys, or they could fall between the cracks, okay, and get left behind. So, this is why it is critical as a parent, as an educator, to pay attention to the student, because it could be that they're just naturally quiet.
Tim and Eric. So, without further ado, that 5-minute introduction, I want to introduce you all to just J. Ivory Thomas. So there you go.
I'm Jay Thomas, just the letter J. I was named after my grandfather, whose name was James Ivory Thomas, which was my dad's grandfather. And he raised my dad since he was very young. So my dad named me after him. And back in the 3rd grade, that was when I learned that I was really good at reading, and Miss McCray showed me that. And I remember one class, we was doing handwriting, and I went to the board and I wrote my name. And I didn't know, but she had told me that my handwriting was like really straight. Like it was very straight. And that's always been with me through my career. And now I'm a senior in high school. I already finished all of my math credits, so I don't take math this year. And I take economics from TCC, which is a college course right now. And I take another college course in English 4, which is Intro to Rhetoric. And now when I go into college, I will have 1 year of my math credits, 1 year of my business credits, and 1 year of my English credits before I even get into college.
That is awesome.
And that's about it for now.
That is awesome, Jay. Yeah, your penmanship was perfect. Did you have Miss Broadus as your teacher?
I don't think so.
You don't think? I mean, perfect penmanship. Perfect penmanship. That's awesome. What school are you graduating from?
Young Men's Leadership Academy.
Yeah. I think I wrote your letter to get in there too. Because I used to try to send quite a few of y'all through there.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's awesome. So proud of you.
Thank
you. Is Mabry still there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was giving him the thumbs up and everything.
I can't see everybody at once. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's you. Go ahead. You have another student.
I don't. That's one of my mentees. That's my coworker.
Oh, okay. I thought you had another one. My bad. Okay, y'all. So we have a question. Okay. What's your favorite memory? What's something that you remember about us? Just give us one memory of your teacher. And Eric, you can do it both or either or. I think you're on mute.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Y'all probably don't remember. I'm sure teachers do, but for those of y'all who don't know, my mama is also in education as well. And at the time, there's this one time she subbed for Miss Mabry. And the next day, everything Miss Mabry had us supposedly supposed to do didn't get done for the most part. And Miss Mabry, she got onto the whole class, and I was feeling bad. I was like, dang, I let them get on with my mama like that. But she was starting out in substituting too. And that's one memory for sure. So but it worked out, and it showed me like the value of like, and I ended up understanding it later on when my mom actually got classes of her own, how much work goes into planning just one class or one lesson, stuff like that. So I was able to understand, like, I get why Miss Mabry felt that way. As far as Miss McCray, one of the things that stood out to me about her was she wouldn't just teach out of the book or out of the curriculum or whatever the district had her teach. She would teach with real world experiences and things that she's actually been through, or share the things she's been through with other students. And that was important to me, because not everybody learns from a book and not everybody gets things like that. But if you can show them something in the real world that actually happened, then that can stick with them. So those both blessings of memories for me.
Man, shout out to Angela. She's watching too. I know I probably did get on y'all. I never did anything like that. But yes, I did not play when it came to getting that work done. That's so funny that you remember that. Oh my gosh. Pam, what are you saying? You're on mute. You on mute, girl.
Did he tell you his mom was the sub?
I think so. I think when I came back, if I'm not mistaken. That's so funny. I still got on my class just because his mom was the sub. I got on my whole class. I know he was not acting out, but I know they probably were.
Yeah, my mom in her laughing right now. She
understands it now, though.
Right. Okay, Kiara. She may be busy. I don't know if she's okay. We'll go to Jay. Jay, you have a memory? I'll come back, Kiara.
One memory I had with Miss McCray was we was doing this assignment to figure out our reading levels. And I remember mine said 12th grade, and Miss McCray was hyping me up. She said, "Oh, Jay's smart," and it blew up my head so much. And I bragged about that for at least a couple of days to my parents. And I kept reminding them over and over that I had a 12th grade reading level.
Yes, right, boo. And you did. And you did. And that's why you going to college with a year of college underneath your belt. And I knew that back in 3rd grade.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. See, they hold on to that. And I want those of you who are watching, listen to the things that students remember, because although it may seem like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting my time, or, this is funny or whatever, I shouldn't do that. I need to be teaching. These are the things that stand out and they don't forget. Kiara, do you have a special?
You can make a
go ahead, Pam. I'm
sorry. And just like you can make a student with one comment, with one memory,
yes,
you can break them.
Right.
So
I agree. I totally agree.
There's power in words. Yep.
Kiara, you have a special memory?
I have a lot. I remember when you used to call us in the hall and do your sermons and tell us, like, I guess, I don't know, you used to be saying a lot of stuff, be going off on us, but it just reminds me, like, how I want to be as a mom. Like, because I remember, like, everything, like, talking is key. You can't just yell at us all the time. So, yeah, I remember all your sermons.
Oh, thank you. And I'll tell you, it was my heart. It was heart. Like, people even posted this the other day about it being heart work. You were subbing, I think. And y'all, that took time to develop those relationships. Did we get off? Did they learn? Did they succeed? Yes. But also that part had to come first, because I couldn't have them all over the place doing this, doing that, not really focusing. I had to build those relationships. And Kiara would tell you, there were times where I would shut it down, like stop class. And I would talk to them about real life. It was just life. And I know they probably got tired. I was almost preaching every day. And she knows, she'll tell you, yes, come on over here. You clowning over in Miss Murphy class? Come over here, let me talk to you right quick. We all in the hallway, 10 minutes, okay? But they got it together. And so sometimes you do have to pause and have that time with your students, because like she said, she remembers. I probably don't remember everything I said, but it's impacting lives. So having so being an educator is not just about teaching. You will have multiple roles, okay? Being a psychologist, teacher, parent, all of that is important because believe it or not, during the school year, children are at school the majority of their time. And so it's important that educators know that you are pretty much like the parent. And that's going to include wearing multiple hats during that time. Those conversations one-on-one, they really, really help.
That's true.
Tim, you got something to add?
I don't.
Okay, we're gonna get into it. You have a question you want to ask the students, and all of y'all don't have to answer. If you want to chime in, you can chime in on whatever questions you want to chime in on.
So if I had a question to ask my babies, I would probably ask, what are some things that you learned throughout your schooling that has helped you get this far, if that makes sense? What's something that you've learned throughout your schooling that helped you get this far?
I think for me would be that you learn through what you not only go through, but grow up through. Um, like I said, with you, Ms. McCray, you would teach giving real world examples. I think back to one of the ones that stuck with me was you were telling us about this student who wasn't really, you had a while ago, who wasn't really focused on reading because his father told him that he just needed to be good at math so he knew how to count his money. The reason that kid said that was because of the environment he was in probably influenced him to do so. He probably saw like people who were quote unquote successful in his environment, and they weren't worried about reading. They had the math down though. So with me, how that translated back into my life was even going into once I started working and stuff, just seeing you have a profession or things that you know how to do that you get good at. Try to learn as much as you can. The more you know, the more you're able to do, the more knowledge you have, the more power you have. No one can take it from you. So get a wide range and broaden your perspective. And I guess also not to just focus on one thing. Don't get tunnel vision in any goal that you have. And also don't, if you feel like you already know something and somebody's offering to teach it to you, again, don't tune them out because they may teach you a better way to understand it too. So that's something for me that I learned.
Okay. All right then.
That's so sweet. Oh, Eric. Y'all, he was like this in 5th grade, and he still has that same heart every time I hear you talk. Okay, so this is another question, and it doesn't even have to pertain to me and Miss McCray. But thinking back to your elementary, middle school, high school, what were some things that your teachers did to develop relationships with you? What are some things that you noticed that they did that these are teachers that stand out, but it was something special or something they took out the time to do to build a relationship with you so that you were able to succeed and really get through their class and you felt that they really cared?
I would say, I'm sorry. I would say just communication. Like, you showed that you really cared about us. Like some teachers, like they don't care. Like they send you to the principal or just write you up. Like you talked to us. Like you took your time with us, and I think that's what really got me. Just like, I don't know, you taking your time and not giving up on us so soon, like most teachers.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share?
I would say something that I remember, I believe it was Miss McCray, and you too occasionally, Miss Mabry, that y'all would have these little things during lunch. Y'all would let us like you'd have like a group of us, group of boys only that would come and eat lunch with y'all, and y'all would just talk and talk about like real life stuff, and that definitely opened my eyes. I never had a teacher do anything like that for me coming up from like early on in elementary school. Even in like the second and third grade, I was in like Denton ISD, and my mom was at Texas Women's University. Teachers out there, they didn't do anything like that. So you seeing that was like, huh. And also hearing and knowing some of the stuff we would talk about, be it like how we should treat women or how to get along in the real world, it definitely opened my eyes. And helps me to this day.
Yeah, we did have those lunch days, baby. And I remember one time, I think you ordered pizza or something, maybe, and I was like, go down there and get me a couple of those slices. Bring them on back down to my classroom.
We used to, I'm telling you, my kids knew I had some snacks. I had one student, I let them do an impersonation of me. Baby, they went over there. I moved out the way. He was like, excuse me, let me have a seat. Grab the candy. Because they once they got started on their work, I was going to go grab a candy out of my little candy. So I kept some snacks for them. I had to give treats out. That really, really helped. So, okay, y'all thinking back to like throughout your life. Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Did you have a response?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's quiet. Yeah. I see, but I knew it. That teacher in me. See, I knew. Okay,
baby, she got your back. Okay.
Yes. I'll say, definitely teachers reaching out, because as Mr. Cray said, I'm a very quiet child, so I wouldn't reach out to my teachers when I needed help or something, just because I was nervous too. And she really helped with that, because she would reach out with me even though I didn't ask for it. So I say that's one important thing.
Yeah. And I remember with Jay, I remember talking to his mom before he left, because when I taught third, they were heavy on strategies when you're taking the STAR test and showing your work and showing what you know. And I just remember telling his mom, moving forward, please let all of his teachers know, his reading teachers, he don't have to show strategies. He knows how to process the question and bubble in the correct answer. It's going to take him forever if you ask him to put a strategy down. He can process the question in his brain, and I promise you, the answer he bubbles in is going to be correct. Yeah. Very smart, very intelligent child. Quiet. Wasn't going to ask for help. Wasn't him. But I kind of knew. I used to read his body language. And I used to watch him, because he used to do something with a pencil in his hand. And he would twist the pencil, and I would know something was going on. But yeah. I remember that, Jay.
And that's being attentive. That's something that teachers can also do, is being attentive. You knew those triggers, or you knew certain things he would do. Okay, let me have a conversation. Let's see what's going on. So paying attention to them like really, really helps. They're walking in. I could always tell with Kiara, same thing. She'll do this little walk and stuff like, and I'm like, what's wrong? Come over here.
I remember her now, just based off of what you just said. Yes. I remember her.
That was my girl. She knew how to get at me. Miss Baby, can I come over here? So it's like, you have to know your students. Pay attention to each one of them, and they'll indirectly let you know that if something's going on, even if they don't say it. Some of them will come out and tell you, I'm having a day or so forth. But y'all, what advice? We have some educators that are even on here and that are watching. What's some advice that you can give to educators in regards to this? Some of them feel like there's a time crunch where they don't have time to really build relationships, or they have to get this done and get that done. How important is it to develop those relationships with their students?
I would say like you guys were talking about, the smallest thing, even if you acknowledge someone for one of your students for a few seconds or a few minutes, that can that can change their whole lives for the most part. I can remember growing up, y'all probably knew I was somewhat quiet. I didn't always come out of my shell and, speak up. But whenever I raise my hand and I get picked, I did help with like confidence and actually knowing that, okay, they want to hear what I have to say. Even if, it didn't always exactly align with what the topic was going on, or I was kind of off with my answer, y'all still, let me share my ideas and what was going on in my mind. And that's definitely a blessing.
And we figured out how to align it to the topic. That's what we figured out how to
Right.
do. Yes, we did. Yes. I had a question too. Just so you all were at Eastern Hills Elementary with us. As you matriculated through middle school and high school, just like it's important for a teacher to build positive relationships, have you ever had an experience with a teacher who did the total opposite?
Ooh, that's
And if
good.
so, how did you handle that, or how did you feel? So instead of building you up, they kind of knocked you down. Did anybody experience that?
I think
Jay. Jay, go ahead. Jay, go ahead.
I had one teacher, I'll say in the 5th grade. He was my reading teacher, and I remember, like Miss McCray said, I wasn't really good at showing strategy because that made me move like a lot slower than I was. And I was trying my best to try to express the strategy, and it will always make me like second guess my answer and I'll get it wrong. And except for him like trying to reach out and be like, oh, okay, this is where you messed up or whatever, he just grade my work, give me a failing grade, and then he wouldn't even tell me like where I went wrong. And I remember that became a huge problem because my parents are very big on grades. And when I was telling them what was going on, that's when my dad had started a conference with him, and we was talking about it, and he had realized that strategy just wasn't my strong suit. And when I move slow, it's like I'll get really distracted, and sometimes I won't even answer the question. And yeah, that kind of happens.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, you may, after we get off this live, you give me that teacher's phone number.
Right. We fight.
Or his address. Okay. Anybody else?
Me in high school, when I first started out high school, I had this chemistry teacher. And it was, classic teacher from the book, hand you this packet, do your work, turn it in, get the grade. But, everybody doesn't learn quite like that. And I was having a tough time just keeping up in that class. So what ended up happening, it's kind of the same with Jay. My mom ended up having a meeting with her too. It was different. It's like I said, my mom, she could teach too, so she knew what was going on. And there was this day where she came. I was in high school. She came to the class while the teacher was teaching, and basically like, I want to say like was shameful about the situation, but she let the teacher know that there was a problem. And it definitely ended up getting solved. I ended up passing the class and things. Teacher, it like opened the floodgates for that teacher because I wasn't the only student that was happening with. After that, my mama was close to like everybody at that school because she was teaching up there. So it was coaches who some of their athletes were having a tough time with that same class. And if I was in that class and tutoring, I'll see some of those coaches come in with that teacher and start talking to her. And other parents started after what happened with my mom. And yeah, me and a lot of my peers ended up passing that class. So I say definitely that was one way that happened for me.
Parents, I don't think you realize how important your voice is. You are your child's biggest advocate. And if his mom, my former student Eric's mom, had not stepped in, imagine how many more children would have been impacted in a negative way by that teacher. Okay. Because obviously there were more students who had an experience with this teacher. And thank God Eric's mom stood up for her child and found out that there was some other things taking place with this teacher. You're on mute, Pam.
I said I would ask for the phone number, but I know your mom had handled it. So
Right. I was like, who are we fighting? Okay.
baby, my babies, please.
Y'all, thank you. Pam, you have any other questions for them tonight?
I don't. I just want to personally come on here and thank you all for coming on here. You all don't know. I talk about my students so much, and I know people are probably like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. So to have my students on here and for you all to kind of piggyback and confirm what I've always said, that you all are awesome. I appreciate you all for taking the time to come on here. Just know that, and this is for all of you are enough. You all are, and for Jay and Eric, you all are Black men. And as Black men, you all are feared a lot. But what I've come to understand is sometimes you are feared a lot of times because you all are intelligent. You walk around with your pants up to your waist. Your intelligence is in your brain, and sometimes people can't see that. And what they can't see, they fear because they can't control it. So I just want you all to continue being great because you simply say so. Greatness is all up and through you all. It seeps out of your pores.
Right.
You walk around this earth, you impact it, you leave footprints. Mm-hmm. I want you all to continue on your journey of being great. Look back behind you and help somebody move forward right along with you. Right. When I say I am so blessed to have had you all on my class row, I am so blessed. And I'm going to pass the mic because the tears are falling. But I just want to tell y'all thank you and that I love y'all to pieces. And that's never, ever going to change. Jay Ivory, make sure I have a graduation invite. Even if I don't have one, I'm coming. Okay?
And I did on everything Pam just said. Y'all, my heart, I can't stop smiling right now. I'm so grateful. I mean, y'all have like grown into these awesome men and women. Okay. We had y'all when y'all were children. And I don't think y'all understand the depths of how, as a teacher, to be connected still, because I wish there were still others that I could see what they're doing now. But to know that God has aligned us to continue to stay in touch with y'all, that means a lot. And y'all just don't know how proud we are of you. Continue to be great. We pray God's blessings over you, that no weapon formed shall prosper, and you will continue to be successful. You will continue to do great and mighty things in your life. We are always here. We have to come fight, jack someone up. We will, because we are forever your teachers. You're forever our children. So we thank y'all for joining us tonight. Y'all are welcome to stay on. I know that if y'all had to leave, that's fine as well. But thank y'all so, so much for being a part tonight. Oh my gosh, that blessed me. I wanted to share that memory, taking it back, a throwback in honor of back to school time. I hope you all have a blessed evening. If you have any children that are going back to school, make sure that you pray over your children. We pray that they have a successful school year. Be involved. Know your children's teachers. Stay on them with the homework and know that they will be fine. You are your child's advocate. Teachers, I hope you have a blessed school year as well. Take care of yourselves, because it's multiple teachers out there. Make sure that you also relax, relate, release throughout the school year. Have a blessed evening.
And make sure you like and subscribe to the new school year.
Have a great